Hello everyone, my name is Dar, and this is a Dendro Traveller guide. I'll be doing a quick breakdown of their kits and whether or not they're actually worth investing in or not. The question is the Dendro Traveller really any good? Actually, yes they are. In my almost 2 years of playing this game, I never thought I would say that the Traveller has a good element, but here we are. Now this is prefaced by the fact that we only have 3 Dendro units, one being an on-field quick swap DPS where Dendro application is not the focal point of their kit, and the other one being, well, yeah, I made a video on her, you should go check it out. The main strength of the Dendro Traveller is both the fact that they are the de facto free-to-play unit, as we are basically role-playing as them, also the fact that this is probably their first actually decent kit they have ever had. Let's start off with the abilities. Razor Grass Blade, a simple forward conal effect ability with pretty high scaling. This ability generates 2 particles with a 50% chance for a third on an 8-second cooldown. For a character with a high burst cost, this isn't very good, and as such, supplementing energy recharge is going to be mandatory, especially if not being ran with another Dendro character for more particle generation. That being said, the range of this ability is deceptively long. I've personally hit enemies I thought I was definitely going to miss. It's fairly quick and doesn't lock you into an animation, unlike another Dendro character, and hits fairly hard as well. Now, for the bread and butter of this unit, the burst. Surgent Manifestation, what a name, just gotta say that, is an 80 energy cost burst that lasts for 12 seconds with a 20-second cooldown. This lamp generates a fairly large ring around it and will periodically deal Dendro damage to enemies within the aura. This has pretty good scaling, I might add, making investing in the talents actually worth it. Now this seems pretty good on paper, but it actually gets even better. This manifestation can basically be infused like Kazuha or Venti's Burst with one of the 3 elements, Electro, Hydro, and Pyro. The Electro infusion basically makes it attack even faster, dealing more damage, with Quicken, which naturally comes with Electro applied enemies, even more damage. The Hydro infusion, the best one, makes the already large area effect even larger. It's so large it's almost comical how huge his area effect is. It also increases the range of his attacks and the radius in which they deal damage. And lastly, the Pyro infusion. This just turns it into a bomb and explodes and it's gone from the field. Now this has high scaling for an attack, however, it will no longer apply any Dendro and will just be wiped from the field. This reaction is probably the worst unless you want to do some kind of weird one-shot meme stuff with it. Now with the talents, we have Verdant Overgrowth. This gives 6 EM every second your burst is on the field, up to a cap of 10 stacks, aka 60 EM. This is okay, it's a nice buff, but EM's not very high, and at full strength the burst is only going to last a couple more seconds anyway, so it just doesn't seem like it has much purpose. The next one being Verdant Luxury, basically making EM also give you bonus damage to your abilities. This is a nice touch and actually adds some sizable damage percent to your kit, if you happen to have some EM on your artifacts, EM buffs in general, etc. Overall, their kit is very good actually. There's one glaring issue, it's the energy cost of that burst being 80, which basically forces you to either run an ER weapon and or as ER Sands to compensate for it. But let's not talk about that just yet, let's talk about Constellations. Since they will be given to you for free, I will talk about them as they are inevitable, you will get them. C1 gives 3.5 energy when you use your elemental skill. This is perfect to be honest. This character has energy issues as it is, and this helps alleviate it a bit. It ain't much, but at least it's something. C2 is the best Constellation. It increases your burst duration for 3 seconds. Now, while this might seem a bit meh, the fact that this applies 1 more unit of Dendro and it makes their passive for Elemental Mastery more usable is paramount. Very few characters in this game have a 15-second burst duration for an off-field application. The only characters I can think right off the top of my head is Gani and Ayato being the ones that have long bursts, but outside of them, I don't really know anyone else that has a burst quite as long. C3 and C5 are just damage increases, and they're not really worth mentioning. C4 makes the EM passive have 5 more stacks when you fuse your burst, massively making it more useful. And then there's C6. C6 gives any on-field character 12% more Dendro damage bonus if they are within the burst, as well as 12% more damage bonus to whatever element has been infused with the burst. Now no one can test this out as a 3.0 because C6 is not available, but this seems to only really apply to Electro or Hydro, the way it's worded, it implies that as long as the burst is on the field and you're within it, you get a 12% bonus. But the pyro one makes it explode immediately, which renders it useless. So I don't know. Maybe future people watching this will know. All right, going to the weapons. Best in slot is Favonia's sword. There you go. There's your guide. Here you go. There, just take Favonia's sword. In all seriousness, Favonius is probably the best in slot just because of the huge energy issues that this character has. You can probably run Sacrificial as well. Sacrificial will require high refinements and some luck, but I feel like Favonius is more of a team buff as well, as it gives neutral energy particles, which benefits other elements besides just the Dendro particles you get. Now you can use elemental mastery weapons, stat sticks, as an option. There's plenty of them out there. I'm not going to suggest all of them. I would only opt for that if you have enough energy recharge rolls from your artifacts, and or if you're running a character such as Kole to help battery the Traveller. Moving on to artifacts, much like Kole, you can run them on multiple artifact sets, though I do believe that Deepwood Memories is their de facto artifact set. It benefits them by giving them damage bonus, and they have pretty good scaling, so that actually is a good benefit to them. But it also benefits any bloom, hyper bloom, and the burgeoning Burgen whatever, the pyro equivalent of hyper bloom by shredding Dendro resistances, as these reactions do Dendro damage. You can still opt for Noblesse for the 20% attack if no one else on the team has it. You can also use the Gilded Dream set. While that is a valid option, it's not really advised. It does help them do some more damage, but it doesn't really benefit the team a whole lot. Overall, this character is genuinely good, and I would suggest building them as a top priority if you wish to do Dendro reactions. I would also suggest level capping them and investing in their talents as well. We do have 3 more elements in the future coming out, and their level transfers between elements, so it isn't really a waste of resources. I hope everyone enjoyed this guide. If you want me to do more guides on some other characters in the future, please let me know in the comments below. Do that subscribe and like thing that everyone keeps suggesting, and I'm out. Peace.